Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 8 of Fireside Fedi. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, you are part of the Fediverse. With me today is Paige from FediHost. Paige is an entrepreneur that started FediHost with his co-partner, with his business associate, I guess you would say, Victor. As Paige puts it, they're just a couple of true believers who saw a need for Fediverse infrastructure after learning the hard way how difficult Fediverse services can be to set up. FediHost is a fully managed Fediverse hosting platform. So Paige, thank you for joining me. And how would you like to be addressed? Emperor of FediHost?
My friend Charlotte is also always pushing P-Town. She's trying to get P-Town out there as my nickname, unsuccessfully for 10 years, but I'm sure she'd appreciate knowing that P-Town is still trying to get its way in.
Yeah, but we'll go with Paige for now. Is that good? Paige is okay?
Paige sounds good. Yeah, it's very clear. And I'd say Victor would be very good friend turned business partner over time, which has been an interesting experience. You know, you have someone as your buddy, and then you go like, should we start a business? And evolve it over.
Well, so how long have you guys known each other?
Ages. 2015, I think, was when I first met Victor. He was originally a intern / developer on this project I was working on, and then just kind of became a friend over time. And it's become quite a story working with Victor.
So was it you had started another company at that time and you hired him on, or were you guys just working at the same place?
Yeah. So at that time, I was working on like a CMS for news outlets out of Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories. And we wanted to develop the CMS and had, the need to hire a couple of developers to work on it. And Victor was a remote hire. And then I relocated to Montreal. So I was managing him for a while, but he was always like far more talented than me at programming, So we kind of fell into a developer manager sort of a relationship. And then I went to work at another company and they needed a DevOps guy. And I was like, oh, well, there's Victor. So he started working there. So then we became colleagues.
Okay.
And after that, just friends until now. So anyway, it's like it's like I said, it's been an evolving relationship with Victor.
Okay. Yeah. I've worked at a company for my friend before, and it's an interesting line that you have to walk, right? Because you both kind of have to have agreement on the business, but you have to be careful with your friendship and whatnot. So
it's been good though. I think we trust each other. I really love Victor a lot. He's really a dear friend, and it's interesting. Like I've done a couple of businesses before, always managed to maintain the friendships with people afterwards and stuff. But it is always it's a challenge, right? It's a real test of if you have a deep trust of each other and stuff, because you have to go through challenging times. Oh, by the way, I know this is Fireside Fedi.
Yeah.
I did light a little fire here. Ow, it's hot.
Wait, you lit a fire?
There, see? I've got a little fire.
I can't see it, no. Oh, okay. You
can't see it?
No, you gotta move it to your left. Oh, what?
Yeah, right. And I can change my lighting setup as well, so it's just a little bit more fiery.
Capture that real quick, because the stream can't see it, but it's pretty. That's.
And we can make it a little fiery, it's like a little bit more.
Nice. Yeah. Set the mood.
Yeah. Okay. So, how high do I have to put this candle so that it's visible to the stream?
Let's see. Oh no, that's great. You're perfect. I can see it right there, and you got the overlay. I love this. This is great.
Okay, Fireside Fedi.
Yeah, now we're getting in the mood. Nice. I like it.
What was your motivation to kick this off?
I am not a software developer. I am an IT, which I've done forever with Linux. And when I found the Fediverse, I wanted to um, um, support it in any way I could. And again, I'm not a software developer. The best I can be is nice and kind and friendly. So I'm like, hey, let's try that. So I've been streaming on this, well, not this specific Owncast. I've been streaming on my other Owncast for a while. And it's like, but I want to get to know people. I like meeting people, right? And talking to people. But wait, I'm supposed to be asking you questions.
Yeah, you see, I'm doing a good job of pushing it away from me.
Tricky.
So
Well,
you're kind of you found your way to contribute in doing this.
yeah, exactly.
And it's like yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very nice scene out there on the Fediverse, is what I've found. A lot of like generosity, I guess you'd call it, or like altruism, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you fit right in.
Yeah. I hope. And there was recently a discussion on Lemmy, like the biggest thing that we can do for the Fediverse is be nice and kind and welcoming. And I 100% agree with that, right? Like people don't want toxicity. We can go anywhere and get that, but like it's very rare for everyone to kind of build a community. And that's why, I wanted to talk to folks like yourself, because the way that we build that community is we get to know each other. We support each other in the ventures that we do, right? But what led you to FediHost? Did you grow up with technology and you're always like, I want to make an infrastructure service for a platform that doesn't exist yet? How did you get to where you're at?
Yeah, I think when I did I did a video, so I'm a YouTuber, and did a video on that was initially kind of like spawned by my realization that Mastodon was a very superficial comprehension of what the Fediverse was amongst communications professionals. So, I mean, I assume the viewers are like well aware of the fact that it's just the tip of an iceberg. Yeah. But most of my friends are journalists and YouTubers, and they just see it as like Mastodon versus Blue Sky, or Mastodon versus Twitter. They just see another platform. Mm-hmm. And so I have a background in computer science. And while I was looking into it, I realized that it was so much deeper than that. And then I made this, it kind of spawned me to make this video. Like, this is really interesting, and I remember thinking like, this universe, this ecosystem could do with institutions that are both in the public sector and the private sector and the government. And you know what I mean? Like a healthy ecosystem has like participants across these different sectors, and being like, there isn't really a whole lot of kind of commercial stuff in there. The sorts of people who would partner to build software, with people and things. Like, it would be nice if something like that existed. And then at the same time, that thing I mentioned at the start that I worked on back in 2015, 2016 was so hard. It kind of put me off ever starting a new company again. And I didn't really want to go through that again unless it was this perfect storm, or I guess perfect sunny day of the thing that I was doing being something that I ethically and in principle would do, even if there was absolutely no money in it, Yeah. And there being just like a good opportunity. So I think so Victor was looking for something to do. I came across this and thought there's a need for some sort of like, fairly neutral, stable hosting, managed hosting thing, so that people like my mum could start a Mastodon instance, and institutions and universities could get on, because it's this thing we're trying to get people in, right? So it's like I'd be advocating for them to do it anyway. Start this, and I think starting this thing made sense. And Victor was available. I shared the video with Victor, and I'm like, "Do you get it?" And he's like, "I totally get this." And he spent the next like 2 months basically building out basic DevOps for a hosting business.
I mean, that's for years. Again, I'm not a software developer. I'm definitely not an entrepreneur. I know again, I've had friends that start business, and it is not a 9 to 5. It
No.
is a 24/7. Like, you are always trying to get that business off the ground. You're always trying to do more until you get to a point where, it's paid off and people are coming to you, right? So I've never been interested in that personally, but that's one of the things that I've been thinking about as well, is like, we need to have not just, like DigitalOcean that has like a button to press to spin it up. No, we need more than that. We need, like you said, your mom, or I have some friends that are very, very much anti big tech, and they're trying to start up their own YouTube channel. I'm like, well, what about the Fediverse? They're like, well, what is that? And I was like, PeerTube, it connects to everything. And I was like, and Google can't decide to just take it down if they want. And they're like, oh my God, that sounds great. And I was like, here, I'll give you FediHost. But one of the ways that I found you, actually, even before I talked to them, is through your guys' PeerTube instance. You guys have incredibly well done, very straightforward, like, videos, not just on FediHost, but like you do a podcast, and you talk about what's happening around the Fediverse and stuff like that. How did you, so before we get into all of like actually talking about the FediHost, so it sounds like what came first was the content creation.
Yeah, like I quit my job in tech to do this video journalism thing about like 5 years ago. So I've long been doing that, and the stuff that I do is always kind of advocating for something. I just find it it's somewhat dysfunctional. I'm somewhat dysfunctional, I think, as a person trying to make videos, because I just can't help but do the things that speak to me, which isn't always like commercially viable. Well, it often isn't, like my biggest topic is probably electoral reform. So that's the advocating for the electoral system changing in the US. I was actually down there for the election last year in Idaho and Oregon, trying to get ranked choice put through. But a lot of the time, for some reason, those issues are so like they really, really matter, but they don't really motivate people like traditional like haymakers in politics. So I've done that for years, but it's never really been viable. And I think I have experienced a life of very meager income, making these things, and just kind of simply need to find a day job, sort of a thing, right? Like, it's either I do FediHost and we can get this thing going to the point that I can kind of, have a decent middle class income, or I'm gonna have to go and get a job somewhere. So like, we're really living the startup kind of the startup thing, we don't have any funding. We're just kind of like doing this from the absolute minimum kind of resources and just organically building it. Anyway, and definitely I would say both Victor and I are an idealistic sort of person. He's huge into open source, and he's that kind of Linux from birth sort of character. I jokingly say that his first steps were towards a computer to wipe Windows off it and install Linux.
Nice.
Like he's that sort of guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting business. I'd call it an idealistic enterprise, at least at this stage.
So even though let's say FediHost isn't taking off as you expect it sounds like you're passionate about this, though, right? And doing something, like, just because it doesn't blow up doesn't mean that you're giving up on it. Even if you have to go get a day job, right? It might be a bit distracting, but it sounds like that thing's going to still be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've set it up in a way where it won't implode due to suddenly needing to pay off a debt or anything. The whole thing is like cash positive, I guess you'd say. It's just not full time. So well, funny, it's not full time as in it's not paying full time wages. We are working on it full time.
Right. Well, that's as you said, that's the matter of a startup, though, is that, like, if anything, you work way more than full time in hopes that one day this pays dividends, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's ideally this like nice lifestyle thing. We do this thing that we care about, and
Yeah.
it pays enough for me to make these videos on policies and reform issues and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for Victor, it's kind of permanently his full-time thing because the DevOps requires that.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if one day we could hire someone in a different time zone so that Victor doesn't have to be on call all night, you know?
Oh, that would be
But it's
fun.
always been I guess it's our kind of vision for the thing is not like that it's the next Amazon or anything like that. We just want it to be like a principled business that Victor and I build from the ground up without VC and just, it's the size that it naturally is, and my belief is that there's enough people out there on the Fediverse that are kind of on big instances or people want to have like their own video sharing set up, to jump on PeerTube for there to be a job or two out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think that that's a big thing is a lot of folks wanting to get their videos out of a specific ecosystem, regardless of who that is, into their own hands, but they don't want to get tied down in all of the techie stuff. Like they're YouTube, they're video content creators. And you guys enable that, right? You handle all the back end stuff. And even me as a techie person, like I needed my community to help me get it all set up. Like no one person can figure everything out. Like there's going to be stumbling blocks, right? And excuse me, PeerTube was probably one of the most difficult ones for me to set up. I've not even tried Mastodon because one, I don't need Mastodon, and two, it's heavy. It's complex, and go-to social for me was a lot easier.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I mean, I realized at a certain point in my career that I was so bad at like tech relative to people like Victor that for me to take time away from doing my work, my journalism, writing scripts, editing videos, setting up stupid fucking site gags, like that was inefficient. It's like basically that basic economic principle of specialization, like why would I be melting down the steel, so I think an optimal life for me was having a guy like Victor take care of that stuff so that I can do something that I'm really into, which is making videos. And I'm just way better at that, right? So it would be like if Victor tried to make videos, and I tried to do the DevOps, it would be so inefficient. So yeah, it's just that thing, Interestingly enough, though, I should add, we also discovered, well, when you're doing managed hosting with these services, that you can find these little optimizations that actually let you offer something that could be cheaper than if someone hosted it themselves. Like I can give you an example with PeerTube. So PeerTube is very, very heavy, like a traditional PeerTube VPS, because you have to be able to re-encode the videos at the different resolutions. And we realized what we could do is set up a single transcoding server so that each customer doesn't
workers, right?
Yeah. So you don't have to pay for a big chunky VPS just for the like one time you upload a video each week. And so I think it's ended up in most people paying like less when they use FediHost than they would otherwise, unless they kind of team together with a group of friends and did that or something like that. So sometimes you find stuff like that. Like also, it depends on your experience level with DevOps, right? If you're experienced enough that you know how to like attach S3 buckets to reduce your storage cost and that sort of thing, then maybe doing it yourself becomes cheaper. But yeah, it's a lot of people. When I did, I used to have a droplet on DigitalOcean. I wasn't at the level that I knew how to, I knew about how to attach a bucket. I was just below that. So
again, that's like, I didn't have a clue how to do the S3 bucket either. I knew that I can get a terabyte for $5, and then I actually needed my community to help me because I'd never done it. But is that so? Man, there's so many things I want to say now.
Go for it.
So someone in chat, and I think you and I had talked about this when we had our initial discussion. But someone in chat asked, Owncast hosting. When's Owncast hosting coming?
Yeah, so that was one thing we've realized. We have to be very, very careful about adding each additional service, because every service. Okay, there's kind of two things to it. Every service has some tailored thing that you have to get your
Yep.
head around. It's like, for example, PixelFed has
Yes.
on its Git repo, it used to at least, that it has Postgres support. However, and I'm just kind of like quoting a meeting that I had with Victor a couple of weeks ago, it's not quite documented or it doesn't quite work as expected. And so MySQL is the option that you have. So you have this kind of thing where you go to add something and then you're like, oh, we usually use Postgres. If we're going to use
Yep.
PixelFed, we're going to need to use MySQL. And then, MySQL is pretty well known, but you might
More
need to learn.
overhead. Yeah.
Yeah, you might need to,
And
and you
learning
might need to
something
learn the
new.
quirks of a system. Like, not
Yeah.
everything is ubiquitous as MySQL. Sometimes it's like some strange library, that you've never heard of or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So you get that, and
Live
then
that
you
life.
also have to deal with like stability and how
Mm-hmm.
widely spread the software is. So Mastodon does a very good job of. They have their own giant instances that they kind of push their release
Yeah.
candidates and beta versions onto. Other smaller projects, it's a little bit more, seat of the pants. It's like, they're just lucky to have anything, and they just throw it out there. So we realized pretty quickly that you have to track a project for a long time to get almost like a vibe of like how on top of it they are with resolving bugs.
Yep.
Will they quickly merge in like if you submit a merge request for something that's going to fix a thing that's breaking it on your server? Are they going to get around to it, or will it be like, oh, after the long weekend? Like it's
Or
interesting, right?
just, I mean, it's open source technology, right? So someone could just, as you said, like, hey, I'm not making any money off of this. I did what I wanted to do with it. I'm out. And then you guys have customers that expect something, right? And it's a lot of unknowns right now. It's a lot of questions. I know that you have like a go-to social video out there. I don't know if you guys are doing hosting go-to social yet, but everyone's going to have their own. I want this and I want that, and like right now, as I've tried to explain to people, like we're at the stage, in my opinion, we're at the stage in the Fediverse where the internet was when news cycles started talking about what is the web, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
are so early on and there's so much growing to do and seeing what comes to the top that, especially a startup like yourself, you want to be out there as much as possible. But if you do that, you're kind of growing too fast. And it's this trade-off, right? Where you need to be careful and protect yourself, but you want to offer the most possible to make as much money. So the
Yeah.
best thing that I could tell anyone in chat, sign up for FediHost. The more they can help fund those things, the more you guys can start to offer or, talk to them about what they need to do or something like that. You guys are on Mastodon, mstdn.social at FediHost, right?
Yeah, we do the old. Sometimes people ask about that, and it's like, I'm sure fairly common practice to use a different party's presence online, because if you have any technical issues on your own infrastructure, you want to have a
Yep.
completely different avenue for people to access you.
Yep.
So yeah, you can follow us there or fedihost.co. But yeah, at present we officially support, like they're fully released, Mastodon and PeerTube,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have the way that we're doing this is we have a beta program which gives people free services or low
Oh,
cost. At the moment they're free, but we have this kind of clear, hey, like you will be on a release candidate. This will break, like and this is how we're trying to kind of find the in between of the two, so we can have people on these on the beta program, letting us see in real life how it works when something's broken and how reliable
okay.
you'll get the updates and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Owncast would be a good example. If there's demand for it, then yeah, we'll be that's the
But
sort of thing we'd be adding.
well, an Owncast is a perfect example. Not only I think that is an amazing idea. Free beta testing, you guys learn, someone gets, jumping into a technology on the front end themselves. You can report upstream. But Owncast, like there are some little things that you tweak and set, but it's not like Mastodon, right? Like where your entire post history is gone if something doesn't work. That sounds brilliant that you guys have a beta test program like that. Right now, you and Victor are centered out of Canada, right?
Yeah, we're both in Quebec.
Both in Quebec. And so you just had a video on can we move our servers to Canada? And not to talk politics or anything like that, right? But this is for those that are weary with the current state of the United States, right? Like Canada, why did you choose Canada just because you guys are located out of Canada? Did you choose Canada for other specific reasons?
We mainly chose Canada because Victor wanted to go down and touch the servers. As a Linux enthusiast, he wanted to go there and stroke the side and go there when they're under a high amount of load. I think that probably
does he sit by them at night and like sing to them?
Yeah, this is normally the candle he takes over to the data the data server, and for us, we started out just being like, okay, let's start a VPS and build a little cluster, and you kind of organically grew from there, and then we've gotten to the size where we're like, oh, this is growing, it's adding a new customer at this frequency.
Yeah.
This has this will probably, maybe it's going to plateau, in a couple of months, and it's just the size it is, or it grows fast. We don't really know, but it's definitely growing, and it just makes sense to be like, well, what's the right technology setup? What's the right server setup for a company? Well, it'd be nice if it was just down the street, in a business-to-business relationship with a larger kind of hosting provider. So it just made sense to do it,
Well, and it really is. When you get into a business of hosting, especially hosting for other people, like it is completely different than me setting up my own, Owncast server, right? Like it's not the same. When a customer has to do a presentation or something, like that stuff needs to be done. Like that is literally money, and you guys have all those thoughts. But knowing that it's right down the street from you, it's like, oh, the hard drive just died in it. Quick. I've literally had it where I worked at a startup company. It was like, run to Best Buy, get whatever hard drive they have there, come back, throw it in, get them back up as quickly as possible. And even something like that, even having something local like that, it helps you mitigate some kind of risk.
Yeah, it's basically like we're trying to go from the prosumer to the pro sort of level. It's like we want to get closer to the middle and the server, and we're now at the size where we can go like we can negotiate a good deal, which is part of keeping the costs down for everyone. So it's a number of factors. It's not just the being scared of the trade war and that sort of stuff. Well, that's another factor, right? If the tax is put on us so that every time we buy a service in America, we're paying a 25% tariff on it, that would be bad too. So for now, at least, data can travel across the border. We're right beside, I don't think it makes really any difference as far as like the speed of things go. So,
Well, that's okay. You guys will be the 51st state anyway, I'm told.
Oh man, that is the most frustrating joke. Canadians do not find the 51st state thing at all.
I'm an American. I don't find it funny.
It's a kind of continual. You'll see like the blood vessel burst if you make a 51st state joke with Canadian.
No, I'm just appalled. But you're not fully Canadian.
Oh, how dare you? Anyway, yes, I am an immigrant. I'm from New Zealand originally. That's where I grew up. but my mum's Canadian, so she did the paperwork so that I could just kind of
okay.
walk off the plane and get started here, which is very nice. Thanks, Mum. But yeah, I've been here for quite a while, since the last financial crisis, actually.
16 years then? No, 17. Yeah,
Yeah.
17 years, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Woohoo. Fun
Anyway.
stuff. Oh, so is it your fault? I think it's your fault. Go back and we'll see if we have another financial crisis.
Well, I mean, last time we had a financial crisis, I was in New Zealand, so, you can't blame me. I wasn't even here. I couldn't get a job in New Zealand, so I left to go to Canada, which had a pretty good economy at that time, relative to most other places. So it seemed like a good place to be.
I've never been. I hear it's beautiful. But so if you had a choice between, this is going to stir up some hate. Sorry. If you had a choice, like where would you be if you could, if money wasn't the option? Would it be Canada, New Zealand, somewhere else?
Oh, I'm very lucky in that the answer is Montreal for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm a very lucky person to live in the place that gives me no is this the right place anxiety. Like I've lived in Yellowknife, Shanghai, Philadelphia, spent a decent number of months in Houston, and then around all over in New Zealand. And like usually you'd have this like, oh, do I want to stay here? Is this the right spot for me?
Yeah.
And kind of almost talking about how good it is to kind of boost your own, you know what I mean? Like you're like, this is great. Why would anyone want to live anywhere other than Yellowknife, Northwest Territories? And I just luckily, when I moved to Montreal, it was after I'd done like a summer here back in like 2011, something like that. And it's just always been very much my happy place, It just works for me for whatever reason. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, yeah, the only thing, the differences would probably be like housing security. Like if I could own a house here so that I don't have to worry about my landlord evicting me, that would be nice. But
yeah,
I've definitely found the city at least.
That's awesome. That's great. Glad to hear it. And then, so how long have you been on the Fediverse?
Not too long, actually. I joined Mastodon prior to that first Twitter wave because I was already kind of sick of Twitter, I never really got that website, to be honest. Always seemed like a kind of miserable place. But I was reluctantly on there because, it's one of those, it's frustrating. And amongst people in the kind of journalist influencer, that sort of like area, you just kind of are expected to be on there, or were at least.
Yeah.
And so I'd signed up and then I was like, this is garbage. It's very something else. I think I found Mastodon, but I had that experience of signing up and being like, what server am I supposed to choose? All that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which informed my video when I got around to making it,
So you're talking leaving Twitter for Mastodon 4 months ago?
Oh, no, this is more of a video I did on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
That's like Twitter, Mastodon is not a Twitter replacement or something like that, I think was the name of the video. So that was I think that's a fairly kind of common experience for people. And I do think it is quite important for the Fediverse to acknowledge the UX issues that we have,
Yes. That's John Mastodon calling. He's very upset with you about saying Mastodon isn't Twitter. Do you know the John Mastodon joke?
No. What's the John Mastodon?
So there was, I guess that predates you. That goes back to, I guess, when I've been on Mastodon. Well, I've been on the Fediverse for since about 2017, 2018. And at one point it was going around that what's another example? It just that general, who controls this, who runs this. I think Eugene Rochko brought up it's John Mastodon. And then everyone's like, yeah, this is John Mastodon, and Nicole, the Fediverse chick, together, and this is their baby, Junior Mastodon or something like that. So
kind of like the Bitcoin like guy. What's his name? The kind of Japanese
Satoshi
name.
Nakamoto.
Yeah. Like it's like a kind of mythical character almost.
Right. Yeah.
May or may not exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I had nothing. I was just ruminating. So I remember you telling me that there's a quiz that you have. Is that still?
Do you want to hop onto that now? Do you have to?
I mean, if you. No, I wanted to give you some hosting assistance. You know, if you want me to step up, I'm used to hosting, so you know, if you'd like, I can jump in there and be like, you know, what's your next? What's next on the schedule?
No.
Have we got some questions in the chat?
So I have FediHost popped up right here, and again, your stuff. I don't know if you created the website, but I love your content creation style. It's very clean. It's very neat. You don't talk to people like they're tech elites, but you also don't talk to people like they're idiots. So, you know, keep up the good work on that. I think that kind of content is needed to help onboard folks and to walk people through things. But your prices are insanely reasonable. Your prices are lower than what I could get a basic VPS for, and you guys have done all the work. Again, and you've talked about how you do, the shared. So you guys do shared resource usage, right? Which is absolutely brilliant. You guys scale up, like your Mastodon at most is $40 a month for 2,000 people. $40 a month, like everyone's cell phone bill is more than that. Your PeerTube is starts at $7 a month. And I'm not sponsored by these guys at all or anything like that. But like when I saw your prices, I was like, how the hell do you guys, like, that is reasonable, right?
So the main thing to know, and this is where I think we're trying to give people a lot of flexibility, right? So we want to be able to, and the plan is to let people individually choose the amount of database storage they have. You know, add 1 gig, add 2 gigs. Because what happened for me, I was on a previous Mastodon hosting service, and I found it quite frustrating that I would hit a cap of one resource. Like your bottleneck would be, in my case, it was storage, like S3 storage, hard drive storage, media storage, right? I would hit that thing, and I'd have to upgrade my instance, even though I didn't need RAM. My database was fine, just because of this, because a lot of the hosts, they just pull them all up, at the same level. They kind of have this
get 2
general
CPUs,
best
4 gigs of RAM, and 10 gigs of storage. And like, well, I need way more than 10 gigs of storage.
Yeah. So what we did, so this is the thing, our prices are low, I think, but you do need to be able to do the math on things. So if you've got the 2,000 user Mastodon plan, you need to also, that covers like your RAM usage, but you'll need to individually bump up the storage on that. So it's cost a little bit more than the like one thing, because you're basically having to choose that and then choose the storage, and then eventually one day, fairly soon, it'll be cheaper again, but you'll have to tack on the database, so it'll work out being the same $40, but you're kind of there's always levers. I don't want anyone to think that they're being misled on that and stuff. It really is just, we want to give people the flexibility of choosing how much storage they have and stuff. So you get your base instance and then you tack on the storage. The storage is actually pooled across your services. So if you had a PeerTube instance and you'd bought like a 200 gig storage pack for it, you could tack on a Mastodon instance and not pay for storage again, if you had like leftover kind of capacity. So that's another kind of thing. It's all this sort of stuff where we're trying to kind of make something that's not just hosting. you know? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like really convenient and encouraging and entice people to like try PeerTube out. Like you can
Yeah.
just add it on, you've
Yep.
already got this leftover capacity anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Can someone get, excuse me, can someone pay for an S3 bucket separately and connect it up to their Fedi hosted PeerTube
that
or
would be
not
the sort
yet?
of thing you'd want to have a VPS for, like if you're at
Yeah.
that
Okay.
level.
Yeah.
But the storage is a lot cheaper than say like SSD, like hard drive storage that you'd have
Right.
your database accessing. It's
Right.
it's priced separately to the database and to everything else. Um, so yeah, um, I think it like works out to being cheaper and easier. That's kind of what we're trying to hit. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be cheaper than you'd expect for a managed host, and you
No,
know,
it's
um,
watching. Yeah. Again, watching your videos on like configuring, here's a configuring PeerTube instance. I'm going to mute it. Love your intro, but you walk through like literally here's, I'm trying to find it. Yeah. So you literally walk through all the steps for your website. It's just like grab a domain, put your really cool domain here, and then it's a lot of basic just click, click, click following steps. And then with the video, it also goes into here's how you configure PeerTube once you've set it up. And like that's not even just good for you guys, right? That's good for your customers. That's good for anyone else on the Fediverse. It's like, well, I want to set up PeerTube on my own, but there's this video on how I can configure it. And I think I think you guys are doing amazing work, not only for the company but for the Fediverse, and I appreciate that. And again, having a much better content creator, like my stuff is very slapdash together. Like you can see my office space behind me. It's yours stuff is very put together, and I think that's more important in a professional kind of a sense.
yeah, like when we started out, we were like, oh, we should just be like super vanilla, like Fediverse hosting service, like very no kind of character or an opinion or whatever. And I think we realized pretty quickly, well, it's kind of inevitable that there's going to be a fair amount of character that'll come through when it's a
Yeah,
two person, passion project company.
yeah,
So we're just kind of like leaning into it. It's very nice of you to say that about the content. I think there's a there's a video I did like 2 years ago with my friend Yute that people could look up online where we talk basically about what we would say to a company that wants to do video content. And
oh,
I am like just literally following the playbook that we outlined for a hypothetical third
oh,
party.
that's
I just
awesome.
think it is just pretend the company doesn't exist
Yeah,
and just focus on making the most useful content that you can, you know, just
okay,
and you don't need to push it, like there's this, I think people in marketing departments feel a need to go like, oh, and you can sign up for FediHost with blah, blah, blah. Just
yeah.
people, they don't, if the channel is called FediHost, they know.
You're
They
right.
know.
Yeah,
That's all you need to do. Like,
yeah,
just make good stuff. And what will happen, and it's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to you, is when someone comes along and makes a helpful video or a helpful blog post or whatever that you go like, that was great. You think, oh, well, if I ever need to buy whatever, they're going to be in your mind,
yeah,
like, thank you for making that.
yes,
Like, I appreciate that.
yeah,
And it's usually a pretty good sign if they make really solid blog posts and videos about thing. It usually shows that you're going to get something like that throughout the business, a kind of
right.
focusing on not selling you something, just like making
Yeah.
something good. So
Well, and I think a
yeah.
lot of folks, especially in the Fediverse, we've been in big tech, right? We don't want that sterilized environment, your hands off. Like we want a person. I want to
Mm,
know that there's a guy behind there that can do videos and show me and also, take care of the stuff and make it super interesting and easy. And it's all of us supporting all of us, like I said earlier. And I think that's great. I
mm.
know we're running out of time. Before we get to the quiz, what is your idea of success for yourself, for FediHost, for the Fediverse in general? What's your idea of success for whatever you want out of all of this?
Oh, I hope that one day, um, the person, a person like me, 6 years ago when I was starting out, being like, "Oh, I'd like to make videos for a living," could just actually have a viable path to doing that on their own instance of whatever tools exist,
Yeah,
and just like be able to like. It's quite scary to build your career on a platform that you have no
no
control
control
over.
over. Yep,
Yeah, and you hit these points and you see it all the time
yep,
amongst like my friends on YouTube where you're censoring yourself because you're worried that you're gonna get the algorithm will come and crush you. Like
yep,
you don't usually get like blocked. You just kind of your video doesn't do very well,
yeah,
and then you found there's almost like a kind of paranoid algorithmic rain dance going on all the time where
yeah,
people are like, is this what I need to do to, to get the views back or whatever? So just kind
yeah.
of it would be so nice if in a couple of years time there's this really viable option for a person who doesn't want to be on in that miserable old place, who can kind of
That's
strike
awesome.
out on their own and
Yeah.
independently build, make videos and blog posts and all
Mhm.
these other things which we don't really know will exist. Like once the
Yeah.
pieces of the puzzle fall together, and it's like, oh, we can
Right.
make crazy. We can make podcasts that are peer to peer streamed across platforms. Or I don't know, whatever tool
Yeah.
we
No,
think
no,
of.
but I mean
Pretty
that's
cool,
that's
right?
how a lot of technology goes, right? Usenet. If anyone knows Usenet, Usenet was for sharing news. And
Mm,
now it's turned into, sharing files and whatnot. That was never its design. That was never its intention.
mm,
But, excuse
yeah.
me. So many pieces of technology, when you open it up to people to start playing with and doing what they want, like that's where real innovation comes from. Someone
Mhm.
flips it upside down and realizes all of a sudden it can do X, and everyone's like, "Oh, I just thought it did Y," and that's great. I love that you want this to essentially bring real choice to folks that
Yeah.
want it.
Bring your choice, and I think kind of restore the good stuff about the internet. Like I'm old enough to remember
Yep.
the internet prior to the social media days and the
Yep.
algorithmic thing. Like what I'm just hopeful that there's a way to kind of get the best of both,
Yeah.
where you can have use tools that make it easier to use because the internet wasn't very easy to use in
That's
2003
rough.
for most people, right?
Yeah.
um, so hopefully we can get the easy to use factor as well as content creators who make stuff that's like actually that's valuable to society
Yep.
getting paid for their work, and not being algorithmically tortured on both sides. Because being a
Yeah.
content creator is not fun with the algorithm as it is.
Yep.
You can see people who are basically cooked. Like I know people who have kind of gone off the deep end with the algorithm just dictating their life. They are a walking kind of skeleton with the algorithm staring out of their eyes, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and
It,
it's always if you're around for a while, the people I know who are the most well adjusted repress that and like kind of go like, no, I won't let it control me. But it's like a drug. It's dangerous, right?
oh yeah.
Then on the other side, well, we've all been alive for the last, decade and seen it, right? So
Yeah.
it's not a great arrangement. It would be great if there was a escape hatch. And I can feel like it feels like we have the escape hatch. But it's like, oh, I hope that when you get out of the escape hatch, it's just like awesome in as many ways as possible,
Yeah.
like there you're more likely to have a middle class income. You'll have a better audience that's more like the people that you want to, be dealing with and talking to.
Right. Yeah.
It'll cost less money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like hopefully we can, man, this question really got me fired up. But I'm really, really hopeful that that it can be better, like
Bring some sanity back to the world instead of making it so that everyone needs to keep their eyes glued to their phone 24/7 just so some faceless, nameless shareholder somewhere gets another 5 cents.
yeah, like it's the world, like the world is cyclical in things being dark, right? Things after the 1980s, you have the kind of peak Cold War fear and stuff. There's a
Yeah.
1990s, and I like to think that there's a period of like relative peace and optimism around every corner, and it could happen. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
We're not. Hopefully, we can make it through this, and I hope that the Fediverse and this technology is part of a golden age, like another period where you go, that was a good time overall, looking back,
Right. I was
like,
there when the Fediverse was started, young
yeah,
man. I
yeah,
know the old days. Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know, like maybe we need a bit of optimism,
Yeah.
to get us
And
through all the stuff, but
you want to leave it in a better place than you had it, right? And that's
Mhm.
but for the real reason I asked you here now, Paige,
Mm.
is to give you an opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime.
Oh boy,
A
let's go.
prize today is a signed videotape copy of The Mother of All Demos. Have you seen The
Okay,
Mother of All Demos?
is that the iPhone demo?
No. The Mother of All Demos. I'll send you a link. I'll get it and I'll send you a link. It's basically someone out, I think it was out of Berkeley in the 1960s, I want to say, showing off what would become the modern internet.
Oh, cool.
Like the mouse, a GUI, hyperlinks in the 60s. Like
Like the
it's
Xerox PARC sort of
yes.
era
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I don't know who signed it, but there is someone that signed it. So, and I mean, obviously VHS is classic. Who's going to run out of a VCR? Everyone has that, right? So,
Well, I'm the sort of guy who might, you can't see me, but there's a wall of old printers behind you.
so I thought about getting you a Babbage's difference engine, but someone put two difference engines next to each other and the difference was 0. So they disappeared. So sorry about that.
Okay.
Are you ready for the quiz?
Sure. I'm going to be terrible at this. I have already told you that I'm not the
No.
most technologically literate guy.
No, it has nothing to do with technology, actually.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
Oh, Spaceballs, eh? Well, it is not Spaceballs, not to be too negative. My friend loved that movie and made us all watch it for his birthday when we were kids.
I
And
love
it just
it.
went totally over my head. Should rewatch it though. See if it if it has that cult classic rewatch thing.
Oh, I
where I'm
think it
like,
held
now
up
I get it.
perfectly. Yeah, especially with all the Star Wars BS that,
So my favorite movie is The Killing Fields. It's funny.
Oh,
It's
no.
like one of these things I actually do have a pretty good answer to. Like I actually do. Like that's my favorite movie. It's a
Okay.
film about my favorite genre is journalists doing their job. Like I really love movies like dramatic reenactments of and documentaries where journalists bust someone,
Okay.
like Nixon gets caught, that sort of stuff. So
All right.
All the President's Men or like The Post, would be examples. In The Killing Fields is kind of a mix of things. It's kind of a war film. It's the Khmer Rouge taking over in Cambodia and
Okay.
yeah, anyway, if you haven't seen it, I just think it's just not many people, I don't know. It's not usually on people's top list, but I don't know. That movie, I've always thought it was profound and great and beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 2, music, movies, or Marmite?
Like if I had to ditch one?
No, if you just, whichever resonates with you, music, movies, or Marmite?
I think music probably.
Music.
It'd be very hard to do office jobs without music, I think it would change your career, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I literally
rely on
had
it.
music trying to calm me down earlier when I couldn't get Jitsi running. I
Yeah,
was like, oh God, no, what's going on? Just bring it down a bit.
yeah. Marmite, obviously, say it'd be funny if you asked that of everyone. I'd be blown away. Yeah. So Vegemite's pretty decently good as a substitute, so I could do without it. I could survive.
Okay.
Movies, I like more like TV series generally. I mean, life without movies would be hard, but I feel like you could make up for it with some real prime dramas and that sort of stuff.
All right.
So yeah, I'd lose The Killing Fields, but
You
you
would.
know. Yeah, it's quite a difficult watch anyway, so probably probably not the worst.
Question 3: crunchy peanut butter or creamy peanut butter?
Oh, crunchy for sure.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made the mistake of buying creamy a few times. This is a kind of, so any Canadians watching will know that products here are labeled in French and in English.
Yeah.
And so it depends when you go up to the shelf which way the product's rotated. And peanut butter, one of the mistakes I made when I first moved to Canada was buying smooth peanut butter, thinking that the word I was reading was like some type of crunchy, you know? So I had this giant peanut butter that I didn't want to eat over the crunchy peanut butter, and it would kind of go down at the rate of when the crunchy peanut butter ran out.
Was out. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I've never had to, I'm terrible with, I know 2 languages, English and bad English. So I've never had to worry about something like that. But
it's a pretty common experience for immigrants in Canada. Accidentally buying a pamplemousse, thinking that you were getting yourself some new type of drink. It's just grapefruit, in French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does an alternative universe page do?
An alternative universe page.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've kind of had enough lives to have been alternative universe page. Do you want me to get? I could shave off the sides and have a grody and do something like real, like evil with my time.
Yeah.
I could work in communications or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Defend politicians.
So
lies.
I called up an alternative universe page. I have a special phone here. Don't ask. It's very, very scientific. So I called up an alternate universe page, and he was a cat glasses model. Did you ever think of doing something like that? Wearing glasses for cats and modeling them to people? No.
Well, I do actually, like, I have a couple of glasses here. I could try.
What are they
out,
for cats?
Well, I mean, this pair could be for cats. Do you like that? More catty?
Those actually are pretty catty. Yeah.
Is there more catty?
The nice points on the side.
Yeah, I could do these guys.
Those are really hip. I don't think those are cat glasses. Those
more catty.
No, I mean, yeah. Actually, I could, I guess, see that. Cats are assassins anyway, so
something like that.
Holy cow! You got a lot of glasses, man.
These are just all the glasses I've owned over the last couple of years, so they happen to be sitting down here.
Wow.
Why not? Yeah. Cat. I don't know. I don't think I could pull off modeling as a thing at all. I'm already pretty reluctant to be on camera.
Right? Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You should tell people it's a reluctant role, the spokesperson for FediHost, but someone's got to do it. Through the short straw there.
So question 5: cake or pie?
Oh, pie. Can I show you something?
Yeah.
Can you entertain people for a moment?
Of course.
Okay.
It's a good interview when someone runs away to be like, oh, this is a perfect question for me, and they go and get something. If he brings back like a life-size pie, like a human-sized pie, that would be amazing. I would love that.
All right, here we go. So, New Zealand is fairly well known for meat pies. Like, it's kind of the national cuisine.
Yeah.
So these are
Can you move it over a bit? Yeah. What is that?
Actually perfect for a fireside.
Yeah.
Fireside pie. You like that? With the light flickering upon the pie, the audience was wowed and enchanted.
But meat pie, I didn't find this out until a couple of years ago. Meat pie does not have meat in it. It is the meat of the fruit. They are very sweet, at least the one that I have.
No, it's not mincemeat. It's not what do they call? Yeah, I know what you're meaning. They're like fruit pie. Yeah, no, these are meat. Like this is like steak and cheese, like
so
minced meat. Yeah. So they're like dinner or lunch food in New Zealand, and there's a pie shop. If anyone watching ever comes to Montreal, there's a pie shop called Tar Pies, and for some miraculous reason, Montreal has the best meat pies in North America. And I do eat them everywhere I go. Like I always like in a big city like New York, you might find there's a New Zealand Australian pie shop, something like that.
Okay.
And they've always been horrible, but this pie shop is amazing. It feels like it was one of the reasons when I moved to Montreal where I was like, the city is like telling me to move here. It's got a pie
Now
shop.
you know why.
Like, it's crazy, Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you to move there just for that pie shop.
So yeah, it's basically the New Zealand embassy in town. And
All right.
highly, highly recommend it. They're amazing.
Okay.
Go in there. Don't use a knife and fork. Hands. This is a
you
sandwich.
can hold it in your hand. Oh, okay.
Sandwich for the situation. Anyway, my friend happened to. It was my birthday a few days ago, and so my friend bought me some pies, which was
happy
very sweet.
birthday, man.
Yeah, So I'm gonna eat those at some point.
Okay. So the last question, I always ask the last question telepathically. I'll let you know when it's there. I mean, you would know because you're telepathic, but that you give me the answer for it. Okay, you ready? Okay. So there's the question.
That's a good mutual question.
Yeah.
You've got I like that you asked it in a reciprocal way where I get to ask the same question of you. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, can you tell me about what's behind you?
About which? I mean, there's tons of stuff behind me.
Yeah. What's on your wall?
Oh, well.
And why is it there?
Well, your wall is, yeah. So the answer from you then is your wall is blank. So it was a poor question to ask, I guess, for me to ask you telepathically. Oh, you have a green screen. Oh, see, like that's how terrible I am at this. I don't even have a green screen, man. No, those are arcade marquees that I bought. Yeah, so it's Joust.
Like above the machine with the backlit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the Joust, Galaga, Qbert, and Pac-Man, and then I have a whole bunch of pictures for my kids. And I have two different schematics. One is for semiconductor.
Is that DS9?
DS9? Where?
To your right. No, it's not DS9. Sorry. It's
so there's
the
a
schematics.
Satanic Tempo thing right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then on the right-hand side? To your furthest right? Yeah.
Yeah. Those are schematics. One's for a schematic for the transistor, and another one's for the semiconductor. The very first, examples.
From a distance, I thought that the semiconductor was Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I am a
Station.
Trekkie. I am a Trekkie. So, but no, I don't have any. I do have. This is like one of my prized possessions.
It's like an old communicator from.
It works.
TOS.
This works. Yeah? This,
with what? Was it a Nokia, like an old Nokia phone modded?
No, it's Bluetooth. It's not charged at the moment, but like the captain and everything, like it has voice stuff on it. So
I love that. What you take along to a expo, so that you can.
I totally would. If I ever go to a Star Trek expo, I would absolutely take that. And I'm planning on getting the tricorder. No, it's not the tricorder. It's whatever the original. On Star Trek that they used
to scan stuff.
Yeah, right? They're coming out with one of those. So, but anyway, sorry, we went way over the time you needed to. But congratulations, you got every answer either correct or incorrect. Good job.
Okay.
So a member of our community, he goes by Nerdy Paul. He's from the UK. He was gonna deliver your signed copy videotape of the Mother All demos, but at the Canadian-American border, he was stopped by U.S. border agents, and he was deported to Elon Musk's future Mars colony. But interestingly enough, because he was trying to cross the border with the tape, they also slapped him with 100% tariff. So I'll make sure that I write him a strongly worded memo that you lost, or that he lost your tape. So I'm very sorry for that. But that's the end of Fireside Fedi episode 8. Thank you again, Paige. Absolutely enjoyed having you. Loved it. I hope everything goes well. Everyone, again, go check out FediHost.co. Even if you don't need it, start spreading the love. See if someone else does that wants to run their own instance of Mastodon PeerTube. If you want to go try out the free demos, there you go. We know that there's actual 2 people that do this, Paige and Victor. So they're real people. You're not just throwing your money away to anyone. They need help. Even if you can't do that, go watch the peer tubes. The peer tubes are great. So
I love that as a sales pitch. Go help them. They need help.
Yeah. No, but again, I'm very much, let's help each other in the Fediverse. Let's help this naturally grow. There's been a lot of folks that have said, you know, I want to run my own, but I don't know how. You know, FediHost is out there to help you, to walk you through the basics of it, and let them do all the rest, right?
Yeah. There's a free 7-day trial. So, you know, if you want to click around, see what you think. It's no strings. If you cancel, that's okay. Glad to have had someone try it out.
There you go.
Okay.
Right. Well, thank you guys all on the Fediverse. Stay good, stay nice, stay happy. You're all worth it. You're all amazing people. We are the reason that the Fediverse is going to work, all of us. Remember, always be compassionate. Try to listen to others. Just try and be good community, good stewards. We're all here for everyone else. We're all here to take back the internet. So everyone, thank you again on FediHost. Thank you again on Fireside Fedi. Thank you to Paige. Everyone have a great day. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.